Testing. Thank you very much. Give me just a second. Got some new hardware. I'm working out the bugs. Trading View. You guys see me? You guys hear me over there? Switched to a new computer this week and still need to get it all figured out. All right. Well, I know YouTube is working. See if I can get a confirmation that we're over on TradingView. I think it looks good. I see it over on my screen. Thank you for spending this Friday afternoon with me. It has been quite an interesting week for sure. If you can't see my camera on TradingView, I'll try to get that figured out next week. All right, I'm streaming on YouTube every Friday from 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. TradingView, YouTube, and on Discord. Hey, what's up, Discord folks? So we're watching the S&P 500 futures. And what an interesting last 2 days this has been. We're going to go into that. What I'd like to start off with is a little bit of a market recap in the beginning. And then I try to maybe go into a topic. And of course, if you guys have any things you want to look at, post it into the chat. And we will take a look at it. I'll give you my opinion on it. Hashtag disclaimer. This is not a solicitation to buy or sell any particular instrument. This is just my opinion and what I'm looking to trade. I was quite proud, actually, of this S&P 500 trade as it broke down. I'm going to take a look at that as well. Tesla is a big deal. Tesla has come up and hit a major resistance. This is a resistance that's been around for about 4 years, actually. Bitcoin and Ethereum are also coming off of major resistance levels. Been talking about this for the last few weeks. Basically, we're going to check that out for sure. Give me just a second to check on some settings here. Like I said, I just got some I bought a new computer, completely new computer, top of the line, and it is still working out the kinks. I'm having some cooling problems. I got this really fancy water cooling setup, and I don't think it's working properly. So if you see a little bit of video lag, that is a problem on my end, but hopefully I'll have it solved by next week. As a plug, I do have a Discord. I just want people to come and hang out. Things have been a little bit quiet, actually. I think everybody's either bored with trading or they've blown out their accounts. I think we've had a little bit of stress this week, especially, but I'm always going to be doing this. And even if you're having a bad week, had a bad week, having a bad year, or had a bad year, don't quit. It really is a game of patience, and also just don't give up. Yeah, both bad week or bad year so far. It's, man, I've had so much. Last week, I absolutely, if you were watching last week, if you watched my FOMC live stream, you definitely saw where I had a bit of a meltdown on stream. I felt like I got cheated because I had a great order on NASDAQ futures that did not fill and missed that whole FOMC rally, this big rally that we had on Wednesday, February 1st. You know, it's funny because my girlfriend actually asked me when I was talking to her about it. She said, about 3 o'clock, I was talking to her, and she said, well, is it too late to get back in? Well, the irony of that was me thinking that, you know, oh, I'm so specific about what kind of setups that I want to look for. You know, about 3 p.m. was about right here on the day. And I was so specific because, I mean, if you look at this, I don't want to go jumping into a trend. I don't want to just jump into something just because it's going up. I've had so many experiences in the past, and I've worked so hard to come up with a very refined trading style, looking for specific setups, that just jumping into something going up is just kind of anathema to me. And so, but the simplicity of it's going up, is it too late to get back in? Well, the simple answer was no. It absolutely was not too late to get back in. And it rallied for basically all the way into Friday, Thursday and Friday. And so I got frustrated. And I didn't really look for opportunity on Thursday. Took me a little while to recover. I had a little pity party for myself. But come Friday, after I saw missing an opportunity on Thursday, I think it was on Thursday of last week, this right here, yeah, this is about the morning. The reason I'm highlighting this is because from the morning low to the opening high, it had a setup to go long right there. That's on Thursday. Didn't take it because I was mad at the market, mad at Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, Schwab, whoever it is, for not filling my order. Missed that opportunity to jump into the trend long, and then I had to wait until Friday. And Friday, I actually have to go back and look at my logs, which one it was, but I made a good week out of it. I believe I was able to capture, let's see, that's Thursday. Wait, here comes Friday. Probably talked about it in the stream last Friday, so I won't rehash it too much, but Friday, we're in the morning time. It was a big move on Friday, actually. I think I caught the top up there. Yeah, caught that top. No, wait, it would have been in the morning. Okay, Google, stop. Yeah, it was one. It was a top up here somewhere. But anyway, today, I'm really happy about what happened yesterday. It took another week, but this is basically the culmination of what I've been working on for about 10 years now, putting together different ways of chart analysis and study to find trades. I'm very picky about my trades. I've got some friends, they are wonderful scalpers. They just jump in and out, grab a few points here and there. They think I go for home runs, but I just really like going for good risk reward trades. Let's jump up a little bit. Let me show you what happened basically this week. We're going to go all the way up to the monthly on the S&P 500 futures. Monthly. Yes, the monthly. And this is what the S&P looks like on the monthly chart. Now, if you look at it like this, man, it looks like a crypto, doesn't it? I mean, this is going all the way back to the 2008 bottom, up. And so really what we had over the year of 2022 is a pretty significant pullback. And to be fair, when we were coming into 2022, after 2021, I did a little bit of research where, to answer for myself, like how bullish had 2021 been? Every single month had made a new all-time high. That had never happened before in the history of the S&P 500. I know because I punched all the data into a spreadsheet and I tested it. No other year had been so bullish. Now, that should tell us something. Not saying it told me necessarily to go short, but in hindsight, everything's quite clear. So we got to pull back. We got to pull back on the entire broad stock market. And what that did was bring us down to my favorite level. In October, we hit the 50% retracement of the entire COVID low to all-time high. I trust 50% levels, not 68.2s, not 38.8s, whatever it is, 38.2, 60. I don't use those fibs. I only use 50% because it works so damn good. It does. And what are we hitting this month? We, of course, had January. That's this little bar right here. That is January 2023 on the S&P futures. And it has come up to that level, basically the whole 50% retracement of the 2022 down move. That is what we have hit here this month in February. That is what we've been fighting. We've hit it before. It was a support that was hit in February a year ago. It tried to breach it in August of 2022. And of course, that candle, that month closed below it again. That level is, of course, let's call it 4,200 for most people, but specifically 4159.25. Actually, if I go down to the daily, to be really exact about it, this is what's cool. Wait for it. It came into play yesterday on a 5-minute time frame. You don't believe me? Just watch. Don't believe me? Just watch. So here's what we look like on the daily. Again, this was the level that we pinged on that December CPI, set up a little spike, and then this is the level it's been fighting after this January rally. Now, yesterday, Thursday, as we were coming into the cash open of the trading day, remember this level is based upon the entire price movement of 2022, 41.55 and a quarter. And so here we are at about 7:50 in the morning. And as time goes along, it's just holding right above that level. Can it beat it? Can it beat it? Here we go at the open. And right at the open, right at 9:30, which is right here, and then 9:45, we got one of my favorite, besides the 50% indicators, which is a spike. What a spike basically is where you have price come down and break a prior low and then come all the way back up inside the range. And it creates this little pivot. That really tells you what the market is going to do this day, because right here is 9:30. Here's the opening high, and here's the opening low. Wherever price goes from this open, the high and the low, you can bet that is where price is going to want to go for the rest of the day. That can start a trend. It's defined itself. So these are one of the few times where I will actually look to take a breakout. I know if it's going to break either the high or the low, that's where I want to go. And so as time went along, I'm watching as we get closer to 10 a.m. on Thursday, and boom, right at 10, we break that level. I actually want to look for a little pullback to that pivot. Where's my stop? It just needs to be right above that opening high, because I know if it breaks the high, the trade's over for short. Let's target something maybe to the bottom right here, and then I'm going to try to get at least a 1.5 to 1, in this case a 2 to 1. And so as things went along, let's go back a second, because you got to remember, when you're sitting in a trade and you enter, we would all just love it if it went our direction immediately. But unfortunately, trading doesn't quite work that way. And you can sit, as I had to do for a few minutes here, nervously. I've never had a good trade that didn't make me nervous. I can't think of one. But finally, we got that breakout, actually. And that actually continued on all the way through last night and into today. And then today we got a little bonus. The key level to beat was the low of 4,100, which is still going to be a very important level. What this was Jerome Powell. This was his talk, basically. He opened his mouth and he created that volatility. And so yesterday, as price came down, at 4,100 was going to be the key level to watch for. Let's go to 30 minutes so we can see a little bit easier. And so it broke below it. Again, that 4,100 level, the J. Powell talking point level. You can see on the 30 minute around 3 o'clock, busted below it. As we go into 4 o'clock close, there it is. And it holds it again on the top side like so. Go down the 5 minute a little bit, you can actually see it knows where that level is. This is why you can use levels like so. And so as it goes along overnight, it's going to come back and hit it one more time while I was asleep. Boom. Overnight, comes up, tests it again, does not break it. This actually could have been a short if you're trading in the European session. A little TS recapture right there. And then, as we come into today, do we get another test of it? Boom, boom to boom. Bink, bink, bink. 4,100, something that was set on Tuesday on a 1 minute time frame. Set up for a little bonus. TS recapture, in other words, we close below this red line, which is the Tenkan-sen from Ichimoku, just 50% for the last 9 periods. Target low to the high, 40.80. Probably went for a little bit of a bonus there. Close enough. Again, makes you nervous. Got it. A little bonus there. And then I know I didn't want to carry these futures over the weekend, so close them both out. So just to recap. Monthly level. Monthly. Based upon 2022. Fighting it as we go into the day. Do a little faster. You can even see what did a little aspect of it back in here as well. These levels, that's why I draw them up before I start the trading day and I watch for them. And this is where you need to be looking to take trades, as at major levels. And we're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum as well here in just a second, because that is the key. So again, this is a level that took 12 months to set up. Comes down to Thursday on a 5-minute time frame, right at the open. It's right there. It's either going to break that level or it's going to break down from that level. That's why you draw them up. This works. It really does. So if you guys have any questions about what I do, this is what I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy sharing how I structure together trades. The reason I say this is 10 years of study is because I went through the process of getting stopped out a lot, losing a lot of money on little instances like this. Like, let's say that you decided that you were going to go long that level, okay? Let's say that we decided to go long that level. And we set a little order right here, a little up to there, and we give ourselves a real tight stop, okay? How many times have you set up a trade like that? Well, oftentimes you get into it, and what does it do? It stops you out, and now you're out of the trade. Bing, before it goes back up. So often does price run through stops. You know, that's how they say they hunt for stops. They try to take out retail traders, you know, all that stuff they tell you about whales and market makers and things like that. Well, I've had that happen so many times, I decided to start looking for it. And that's why I look for that sort of run in a direction and a snap back the other way. It really defines where your stop or your order needs to be, because it happens a lot. And the reason I thought that this was a good breakout is the same reason I talk about when price, this is Ichimoku. I've studied Ichimoku for many years. Price comes out from the cloud at the same time as the lagging span comes out from the cloud. This oftentimes signals a trend change. I've used it on Bitcoin. The reason Bitcoin is trending bullish, or at least it has been, is because Bitcoin has come out of the daily Ichimoku cloud with the lagging span coming out as well. Here you have it on a 5-minute chart right at the open of the day, where both price and the lagging span are coming out on the bear side of the cloud at the same time. You have that spike pivot that's setting up. You know that everything is clear for this to trend bearish if it breaks these lows. And so everything kind of comes together. A big, long year of price action, looking at Ichimoku to determine if a trend is about to develop, and watching for that price action of people getting stopped out, stop run, and that gives you a sign for a breakout. So just to recap, because I think this is really important. So what we want to do is, one, look for price at major level. And I want to put this in a sort of a step-by-step for people that struggle, because I think a lot of my friends actually struggled this week a lot. I want to help. So when you should trade is where price is at major levels. You should really just try to stay away when it's not. Otherwise, you're just gambling, you're just guessing. But big moves like this happen when price is at major levels. It can be a major high, it can be a major low. We're going to look at what Tesla is at as well. It hit a major 4-year level, and that's where it stopped. We're going to look at that here in a second. But look for price at a major level. Once you find that, look for a setup. Now, this can be whatever you want. It really can. I talk about where I'm looking for a price to come out of the cloud with Ichimoku. That's one setup. That's a breakout setup. I'm looking for a spike, a price action to show me that everyone got stop run in one direction, and it could reverse. And the flip side of that is if they actually do proceed past that stop run, that's an actual trend. So price at a major level, look for a setup. And then what you may want to do, look for confirmation. And the confirmation that I would be looking for in this is for price to come back, and it held this little 50% in here. That could be a possibility. Or if you're taking the breakout, for the lagging span to get out, which it already was. So it's really just a 1-2 punch. Just only trade when price is at major levels. Don't try to buy this here, unless you're really good at scalping. Because really what it's doing here is you had a major level that it broke, and it was aiming for the next major level. Like this whole area here. Okay, now it's getting kind of weird. Let me redraw my level, make it clear. Price likes to move from level to level. And so once you break a major level, like we did, I know there's a lot of junk. Ignore all this. Ignore all this. Ignore it all. Ignore it all. The major level is there, and then you know that JPal's talking, JPal's speech, that low was really, really key. So as soon as you can get some kind of confirmation, a bar close, a 30-minute close, a 5-minute close, something right here, I'm not mad at you if you went short doing this for the breakout. And then you look for it to come down, because this, we know that this is a range-bound market. So it's going to go from high to low, high to low. And that was what Thursday did. So there's no reason for you to be, maybe if you're trying to be clever, you could have bought it here, but even there, as it came to that level, let's see what it did. On the 5-minute. This is a low, not mad at you if you use that like I did. But when it busted right through it and then came back to retest it on the high side, down to the next level it goes. Price likes to go from level to level. Test it, hold below it. Pushes it down. Level to level. So wait for price to get to a level. Look for some kind of setup. It can be a moving average cross. It can be anything. Trade off of levels. Any questions? If you got any questions, let me know. If not, we're going to talk about crypto. I'm going to move on. Bitcoin, you see a trade on my chart. This is the trade that I put on last week. And I've had to wait since Thursday before the live stream for both Bitcoin and Ethereum to finally start breaking down. Ethereum gave me a little bit of nervousness, I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. What is it coming off of? Well, the key thing really, and I think this is what's kind of driving crypto right now, is really coming off of Ethereum right here. Because what we have on this date right here, if you guys all recall, this big move here is the FTX collapse. You remember how on the S&P 500 you had JPal's speech, a major news event, a low that it created, which that became a support and resistance? Well, the FTX high, or excuse me, the pre-FTX high, the November 4th, before anything happened, that is where Ethereum came up to, about 1679. We call it 1680. And what was really cool about that, at that moment, I had that major level. You had, hey, thanks TradingView. On the 2-hour, got an alert, spike alert. I got it in TradingView. Thanks, by the way. I love you guys. What I have set up in TradingView is alerts that will actually tell me when something like this happens. with my spike alert, by the way. It is free. If you just send me a message on TradingView, I'll add you to it. And what that tells me is there was a stop run right at that level. Remember that FTX level. It already held it on January 20th. But you had this liquidation, spike run, stop run, whatever you call it, whales, I don't know. But so clear that it comes up, stopped a bunch of people out that were short, but then slammed back down. And then you had a couple of ways to enter. Not going to lie. This right here, I went to bed earlier this week. I was like, I'm going to get stopped out. Oh, well. But it didn't. Bitcoin also did the same thing. It hesitated at first. Here was the November 4th pre-FTX high, like so. And that was where we initially got a few days of slowing down. Back in January, right there at that November 4th high. Again, it was responding to the level, but it still had a little more bullish momentum to come through. But what I've been looking for on both Bitcoin and Ethereum is a pullback to this January trend. And this week, along with all the other risk markets, actually, the pullback that we had this week, Thursday, Friday, really I started seeing signs of in crypto first. I found that kind of interesting. I'm not going to say that crypto is leading the risk markets, but I did find it very interesting that they started to come down. Like on Wednesday was where you had a little bit of bullishness there, and then Thursday, with everything else, it started coming down. I remember on Thursday, before the ES broke that level, crypto was already in the negative, whereas the stock market was still a little bit positive. But both of them, of course, went down on that day. So, hi, Frank. Glad you asked that. Okay. After a candle breaks through a level, how many 1-minute candles do you retest that level before you place your trade? I typically have a 2 or 3 bar rule. If I see 1 bar closing above the level, that's a good sign that you might want to get nervous. Maybe you want to scratch it. But I think 2 bars is really the standard you should look for. 2 bars, you kind of eliminate the possibility for it being just some random volatility. But really, if something's going to hold a level, I don't think it should give you too much nervousness. And in the case of Ethereum here, we see where it comes up to that major level. And this works on any time frame. I know you're asking about a 1-minute time frame. But as a technical trader, I operate from the basic thesis that any technical analysis should work on any time frame. I have to go on that. But that also makes it very, applicable to everything. So in the case of Ethereum on the daily, you have no, this is Frank in the YouTube chat. So you have the high on November 4th, and then if you notice, price came up and held it, and you have several candles here that had wicks above it, but they all closed inside of it. So and of course, let's look at the Bitcoin in this case. Like if we go back and we look, let's just say that we were trying to see if Bitcoin was going to hold this level in the past. Boom, boom, it holds it. Now this was a pretty big bar, but you have a close above it, it's broken the level. So 2 bars are typically what you want to look for. Tell you what, let me show you something else. Let me ask you, I know you asked about a 1 minute, but just think about it in broader terms, just general price action, technical analysis. One of the key things that I thought was indicative of the top of the crypto market was how it succeeded and failed in a breakout. Let's go back and hit in time. We're looking at a weekly chart of Bitcoin back in August of 2020. There's our COVID low right there. So we've got some levels. We've got the high of June of 2019, and then we had the high, the former all-time high up to that point of December 2017. And so back in 2021, way back in yesteryear, what you had was an actual close right at that level, okay, in October of 2020. And then the following week, you had a close above it. And then as a second week, now you have the break. Now you go bullish. It shouldn't give you any cause for concern, especially in something as volatile as crypto. You want a lot of people behind that thing, buying it with visions of, what were they saying at that time? I think people were probably looking for about 50K, 100K Bitcoin back then. And then what happened when we got to the all-time high? Again, responds to that level. Can we get a close above it? Good solid close. Boom. So it may have scared some people, right? You know, jump in on a trend like this, looking like a hockey stick. But you have that first bar close, and then you have that second bar close. And as it turned out, you still had a lot of upside to go. You did. When you have a big bullish move, there should be no question. Now, as this chart goes, as I let it, we established a new all-time high of Bitcoin. Remember this? In April of 2021. Well, I would like to say don't get anxious, but look, trading, people say remove trading, remove emotion from your trading. I wish they would tell me how. I just have to have rules. Once I apply the rules, and like I said, waiting for a bar to close, confirmation, possibly 2 bars, that takes away a lot of the anxiousness for me. Or at least I try to make it take away my anxiousness. So, yeah, try not to get too anxious. But like I said, I think I said earlier, I've never had a good trade that didn't make me nervous. I mean, when you jump into something because it's going up and you feel good because everyone thinks it's really, really awesome and the Fed's going to put it on its balance sheet, that actually ends up not being such a great trade a lot of times. That usually ends up being the top when everyone's convinced it's the best thing since sliced bread. And what you had happen in October of 2021, again, these are weekly bars, boom to boom. This is very, very different to the last time that Bitcoin reached its all-time high. And I'm not going to go into my horn, but I tried to post as much as I could about this failure right here. It failed to break the all-time high with gusto, with momentum. That was a problem. Made a new all-time high. What did it do? Comes up and again fails in November the next month. If Bitcoin was going to go, it should have gone. But you didn't have that 2 bars closing above the major resistance to give you that confirmation. And that was it. And then December, you had that jobs report. December, I'll clean up my charts. I'll do it later. I'll redo it. December, you had this jobs report, U.S. jobs report. What did it have to do with crypto? Apparently everything. And it established basically the last line to watch for. And so you had the first week of January that held it. We're coming into the next week of January. Boom to boom. Get out of your crypto. Even if 2 bars below the major level, even though it pulled back and you might have wanted to tell somebody that they were wrong, really what it was doing was just coming back, boom to boom to boom to boom. It still signaled the break. People still fought it, but it still signaled the break. So ignore all this and just remember, 2 bars after breaking a major level. What about when it got down to this low? The low of the summer of 21. I remember that time. Responds to it, holds it. People are buying it. People think that's the low. Boom. That's your confirmation. Thanks, TradingView. So that's why it's important to take trades off levels. Hey, what's up, Nan? By the way, guys, I do this stream every Friday, 4 p.m. Come hang out. Hopefully I'll have my camera fixed for TradingView next week, so you can see my bearded face. All right. Anything you guys would like to look at? I noticed your audio just got a little bit of feedback in it. Okay. Really? Hopefully that's not the case. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the stream, but I actually just got a new computer, and I'm working out the kinks. So we'll see. When you get a chance, could you please check BSY on the higher time frames plus Ichimoku? BSY. Is it Bentley? Is this the car? Okay. Yeah, I turned down my volume. Maybe it was coming through my speakers. So this is kind of all over the place on the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, you're still in the neutral side of things. You're inside the Ichimoku cloud. Is this the BSY, the Bentley systems that you want to look at? I don't really have a read for you here, except, you know, if we're going to talk about what we were just referring to. Let's take Ichimoku off. And you got a high from August of 2022 that it came up and held. Get you a week or two to close above this, and you may be onto something. You may be able to start that bullish trend. All right. Geo, is that Geo Group, the REIT, the Real Estate Investment Trust? Well, that looks bullish. On the weekly, that is definitely trending bullish. You can probably see where it's going too. So I would say if you're in this long, high to the low, you could be an optimistic target of here up to 1964. Yeah, I'd be content with that. I mean, you may start to, yeah, that's good. 1964. That's trending bullish. I don't know how fast it's going to go up there, but yeah, I wish that you would have said something about this in October. Notice when it was, Nefarious's? Really? Okay. I miss him. Nefarious, if you're out there, we miss you. We really, really do. You had some good calls. You did. Months and months ago. Yeah. You got in and sold for a few bucks, and now it's doubled. I mean, something that's under $10, yeah, you should, actually. You should regret that. I'm kidding, but I'm not. I mean, if something's under $10, I mean, you might as well just let it ride. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good breakout there in October, and it didn't really give you any sign. I mean, one of the things, again, going back to the whole 2-bar. So actually, since I've got you, Schlick, I tried to stream using a plugin on my OBS. Thank you. And it kept on trying to reconnect, and so I'm doing it through the browser right now. I don't know if that helps. Okay. Yeah, as I just, I'm going to do some testing over the weekend and see if it's me. But I was not able to stream normally through OBS, and I had to, because I connect to RTMPS basically, and it kept on doing start, reconnect, So I'm doing it with the browser now. So I'm not really sure if that's a cause or not. So yeah, but we'll see. I'll do a little bit of testing this week. I was just happy to get it work. I think it's browser. Okay. All right. Yeah. See if there's anything going on with that. Could be me. We'll find out. All right. What else? So what else is going on? I got an alert, by the way, on this. Oh, never mind. That stopped out. Oopsie. All right. Don't need to talk about that. So, Tesla. I promised to look at Tesla. So Tesla. In fact, that's what I kind of advertise this stream as being with the highlight, with the thumbnail. So let's just start fresh. Tesla from the. Do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys have been following Tesla very long, but I remember back in 2017, 2018, when Elon was in that production hell where he was sleeping at the factory. Everyone was saying that Tesla was going to go bankrupt. Everybody. A lot of smart people, because they were looking at the numbers. They were clearly not meeting their goals. The revenue was not there. The sales were not there. What people didn't realize was Tesla actually was about to make more money on their selling their their carbon credits, or what was it, rebates that government. So it's actually a big government subsidy. But anyway, that really pushed Tesla into profitability. And then, they actually started selling pretty good cars that people wanted to buy. So a lot of people lost a lot of money going short Tesla. A lot of famous people too. Tesla short was a big, big thing. Chatbot stocks. See, okay, I'll look at that in a second. So from the low that it made in 2019, up to the all-time high, this is all split adjusted, now it is, it came down, I recall vividly, to this level in May of 2022. Again, a 4-year level. 4 years it took to develop this level. 213 split adjusted. I think this was before the last split. I think it was like 600, something like that, 675 if I recall correctly. Oh, AI and chatbot. Yeah, look at that in a second. So comes down to that level May of 2022. In fact, she had like a little double bottom, as a matter of fact, at that level. Ping to ping. Again, 4 years it took to create this level. Bing, bing. Double bottom, however you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. And that gave a nice little rally. Now, I remember this rally vividly because I was in it, but I didn't take profit. And it comes back down to that level again. Had to get out as it broke and gave up that level. And that was the level on Tesla, 213. And of course, Tesla just sold off. Sold off. Womp womp. But some people were brave and some people bought. I did not get into Tesla because I was looking for what I call a TS recapture. What I wanted to see, what I was waiting patiently for, was Tesla to get back above the red line, the Tinkinson, pull back to it, and then I was going to take a buy along with everyone else that just kind of, YOLO'd it. But apparently, YOLOing was the way to go because it never actually pulled back to that level. It just missed it. Just missed an entry right here. And just rocketed up. In fact, I was looking for a second pullback here. It didn't. And then the autism kicked in. Now, the question is, where should we take profit on a rally like this? Well, I heard a lot of opinions. I thought a lot of people were looking for 400, that all-time high. I think a lot of people were thinking something else. But where did it stop this week? Where did it stop and sell off? Ping. Right there. Nice little TS recapture right there. Ping to ping. 4 years in the making. Already showed itself, revealed itself as a support back last year. And that is where it pegged. Now, it could break through next week. It could. I don't know the future. But I do know when something hits a major level, you need to respond. I did. I actually shorted it. So I've always said I shouldn't bet against Elon. But I guess I might be breaking that rule. Maybe I'll get it handed to me. I don't know. We shall see. You rode Tesla from 106 to 170. Good job. Good job. But you can do better. 170. Okay. Were you trying to go for this level right here, perhaps? I mean, I'm not mad at you for, this little inversion right here. But if you can be patient, waiting for a major level like that, wow, beautiful. I mean, that's basically where it topped out. Now, where am I looking for this to go? Honestly, well, I've got to do the same thing in reverse. I am looking for possibly a pullback to, let's call it 160. So basically a retracement of 50% of this trend. We may get it, we may not. I know some people probably want it to just bust right through and go back up to 400 next week. Maybe take 2 weeks to get to 400. Maybe that's what they want. But for right now, I'm going to be looking for some kind of a pullback. And again, with the stock market being where it is, hitting a major level of its own, both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, well, I got my day trading lines on there. Another thing to really pay attention to is the VIX. The VIX has kind of bewildered me a little bit because I've been watching this 19 to 20 level of VIX to be support. And for those that don't know, VIX is a measure of the implied volatility of SPY options, and it can be a very, very useful timing element. When VIX hit this level in March of 2022, that was a top. When VIX hit the level in August of 2022, that was a top. And when it hit it in December, that was a top. And this whole year, it's been fighting this level and confusing me because nothing's ever 100% with this little fake out to the downside. But I got an answer to that, which I need to figure out a way to research. So this came up on Zero Hedge, I think last week. No, here we go. And I actually was able to sell some premium on zero data expiry options. I posted that in my Discord. Not as necessarily a recommendation you do this, but there was a big advantage in how 0 days to expiration options, their implied volatility was way higher than longer durations. That creates a situation where you can sell the higher implied volatility shorter duration while buying the longer duration, and you can capture that difference in the implied volatility. You would call it a calendar spread. So what is apparently going on is, and this may be retail, this may be hedging, I don't know what it is, but more and more traders are buying up short duration options. It's important because the VIX, what measures implied volatility for the SPY for all of history, has been based around the 30-day expirations. The 30-day expirations have been normal, but the real volatility, the real activity in options trading has apparently shifted into this realm of 0 days to expiration, this YOLO lottery ticket kind of playing. Retail, hedging, I don't know. But what's happening is VIX is not completely reflecting the actual volatility in the market. Most of that implied volatility is being baked into options that don't go into the calculation. And so what I need to try to compose is a way to adjust for 0 days to expiration. TradingView, I know I mentioned it to you before, but if you guys can find some way to bring in implied volatility to your charts, it TradingView will be, for me as an option trader, the complete package. Right now, I have to go into another platform and pull out implied volatility. And I know we probably have to pay for that data. I'm okay with that, actually. But if we can get implied volatility in TradingView, really good. Really good for measuring implied volatility in rank and implied volatility percentile. What's up, Millennial Investments? Bought it 10 at 116, and after that bounce, you pointing out to 193, double bounce. Good job. Glad you made some money. Good to see you, man. All right. Scroll up a little bit. Chatbot stocks. What are chatbot stocks? C3 AI. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Is C3 related to ChatGPT? C3 AI chat bot. C3 AI stock, the true beneficiary of ChatGPT, not Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft's not going to move very much. They bought either a controlling stake or they bought ChatGPT outright. But yeah. Okay, hey, bad fees. There you go. There's your theme for the year. Okay, we found it. And I'm late to the party. But AI. AI is going to be the theme of 2023. There you go. Remember how you asked me what's going to be the theme? Every year has a theme. If you guys if you guys have been trading for long enough, you remember pot stocks were the big thing in 2017, 2018. Crypto, blockchain was the big thing, I think, in 2018. EV was the big thing in 2021. And these things all go the same way. They all have a big old hockey stick that people jump into and think it's the next best thing. And there's money to be made, but don't drink the Kool-Aid. Do not drink the Kool-Aid. It's so hard to trade this, though. I prefer not to, but man, I gotta look at this. Thanks for bringing me up. All right, so Baidu is the other one, right? Okay. Not quite as hockey stick, but that's China. That's China, I do believe. But C3. Let me set some alerts. Hang on. It does warrant setting alerts. It do warrant setting alerts. Wow. What a chart. Oh, this is why you don't buy FPOs, guys. Please test it with closing data window. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Mania? All right, so let's do this. Let's set ourselves an alert. 50% retracement of hockey stick. So let's see if we can get a pullback to 2054. What I already kind of see here is a attempt. There's an attempt to get up to that high and failure, and now it's doing a pullback. Wait to see if we can get it to here. That might be good. What about Matic? That does seem to be ripping. And okay, so remember in the beginning of the live stream, came up to its high from pre-FTX and tried to get above it. No. Tried to get above it again. No, this is a daily. And it's tried to hit it again. This thing's topping out. This thing is topping out. Oh, so if you try to do implied volatility in TradingView, what it does is it actually brings up historic volatility. Wait, option data? Maybe not. Option data, option symbol expiration, call. Does it work in TradingView? Because I don't think you can pull option data in TradingView yet. Okay. I have for many years been hoping for that to happen. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, we've come to the end here. And I would like to talk forever, but actually, my computer is starting to heat up because my water cooling is not working properly. So I can already start to see some of the lag. But we'll have it all fixed for next week. I promise. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a great weekend. Trade wisely. Don't get discouraged. Get some exercise. Get out there in the sun. If you have a sunny day, get to the gym and get some sleep. You can always make it back. There's always opportunity. In fact, times of angst is because there's a lot of movement. There's opportunity to make it back. I've been there before. You'll get it back. You'll get it back. Oh, yeah, plug. I have a Discord. I don't charge people for it. I just like to have a community, people to hang out. I post my trades in there. And we also have Amer talking as well, posting his trades. And yeah, I want to hear your ideas. So hopefully you'll come join us. Again, I do this every week, 4 p.m. Have a good weekend. Trade wisely. Bye-bye.